All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. So, today is the first day of government. Yay! Right? I'm sure you're so excited to learn about government. I am. Believe me, I am truly excited. The only problem with teaching government right now at the end of the school year is it's going to be a crash course. So we're not going to be able to get really in depth on things. The only thing if anything, we get really in depth on is your rights as citizens, the amendments, okay, the ones that pertain to you in your everyday life. Those are the ones I will say we will go in depth on. But like today's lesson, it's going to be an overview, um, and explaining basically what's the origins of government and the different theories of it, but nothing really in depth. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So here is your warm-up picture. So the question is asking you, what is this artist trying to say about government? So if you want to take it in the perspective of the political parties, you have the donkey, which represents Democrats. You have the elephant, which represents the Republicans. You got Uncle Sam there, So look what they're riding on, Look at their facial expressions, you know, and basically come to a conclusion. What's this artist trying to say about um, government? Okay. So think about it, write your response, okay, because we're moving on in three, two, one. So, that guy you see in that statue right there, that's Aristotle. Okay, Aristotle was a scholar in ancient Greece, right? He was a student, but he was also a teacher, and he is truly the first person to question, why do we have a government? Why do we need one? Could we function without one? Which one's the best one? You know, um, and things like that. So he spent years questioning government. Do we really need it? Why? What's the best form? So he went to different places, different city states, and things like that, and took notes about what kind of government towns and countries and city states, had. How did it function? What kind did they have? Did it really help the people? What did the people feel about it? Okay. Now, a state is a political community that occupies a defined area and has organized government with the power to make and enforce laws. That's the key point. It's one thing to make laws. Anyone could say, no, this, no, that. But it's another thing to make people actually follow those rules. Okay. Now, as of 2023, we have 206 states in the world. Okay. Excuse me. I've had students in the past go, so like R50 is like part of that. Here's the thing. When we talk about state, that also means like nation. So the United States is one of 206 nations in the world or states in the world. Okay. So we are 50 states that make up one big state, one big nation. Okay. Now, a nation is a sizable group of people who are united by a common bond of race, language, custom, traditions, and sometimes religion. This is what I mean, what makes the United States unique and different from everyone else. When I say Japan, what kind of people do you think of in Japan? You think Japanese, right? If I say France, which kind of people are in France? French, right? But United States, if I say what kind of race are in the United States, you can take your pick. Whites, blacks, Latin, Asian, whatever. We are a melting pot of everybody in the world. That's what makes the United States so unique. We're not all white, all black, all Latin, all Asian. No, we are mixed. You know, that's what, again, makes our country so great and unique compared to other countries around the world. Okay. Now, if anything you need to remember, it's the last two parts. Okay. Not every nations have states, and sometimes a state are their own nation. So a great example would be like the Vatican. Okay. The Vatican, where the Pope is and some of that. The Vatican is its own nation. Okay. They're the smallest nation in the world, but they're inside of another nation, which is Italy. Okay. So you have a country basically inside another country. Okay. So, yeah. So, in order to create a nation, you basically need four things. Okay. Population, territory, sovereignty, and government. Now, population's pretty easy. That's people. You got to have people in order to make a country run. You can't have one person doing like 12 jobs to make a nation run. Yeah, that person might be able to do a good job for a week, maybe even two. But years of that? No, they're going to be exhausted. They're going to be tired. They're going to get frustrated and stuff like that. So you need people to make a country. Now, you have people, you're going to need land, right? Because if you have a tiny bit of land, a lot of people, people are going to be crunched up and, people want space and things like that, right? So territory is land. Now, you need land not only for, again, to give people elbow space and room, but also for to grow food, to dig materials like gold, silver, copper, platinum, whatever, you know. Um, Now, how do countries get land? Well, one of the ways is by purchasing it. They'll buy it from other countries. It's been done before. The United States has bought um, a large chunk of land, basically the middle part of our country, from France for $15 million. You know, we could negotiate. You know, they'll say, "Hey, I'll tell you what, we'll help you, give you some food and some of that, but we want the land from this area to that river." Okay, then that's our land now. Fine, okay, here, they'll make the agreement. But the most common way that a country gains land is through war. Okay, typically it's like when a country invades another country and they're fighting, the winning side, whatever territory they've taken over at the end of the war, that's usually their land. Unless they again negotiate or come to an agreement to buy that land, or the other side will be like, well, we'll pay you to get our land back, things like that. The next one's sovereignty. Sovereignty basically means control. And when we mean control, we're not just talking about controlling your people, your citizens. We're talking about the policies and the ability to control the the state, you know, and have it function. That's the key part to where your nation is able to function well. Okay. The last thing is government. Well, what kind of system are you going to have? Are you going to have kings and queens? Or are you going to have like an oligarchy, which only a small group of people control everything in the government? Are you going to have people vote on who should lead? How are you going to do this? Okay. You need some type of structure of like who's in charge, who's making laws, who's going to govern, who's going to make sure people are following the laws. You need that. Okay. Now, throughout history, we found that there are four different types of theories of governing. Okay. The first one is evolutionary theory, which basically says that the whoever's the head of the household is the head of the government. Now, there's a lot of tribes that Aristotle found that followed this. Basically, they said, well, this guy is the elder. He's lived longer. He knows more than everyone else. So he should be the leader of our government or leader of our country or tribe or whatever it may be. Okay, simply because they're older, they're wiser, than everyone else. Okay. The next one is force theory. So basically, they're just like it says, the whoever's in charge is forcing people to follow them, obey them, either by physical abuse, threats against them, their family, things like that. You know, or it's a group of people, making other people do it. Doesn't have to be necessarily just one person. It could be a whole group forcing other people to do what they want. The next one is, to me, it's one of the funniest ones. It's called the divine right theory. Basically, people believe that their king, queen, leader, whoever it may be, was chosen or is related to God. Yes, there are people who believe that. And sad thing is, there are some people still in this country to this day who believe that. Like the sky opened up and light shined down from the heavens, birds and everything started flying around saying, and God saying, this is the chosen one. Yes, there are people who truly believe that some leaders, some politicians are chosen by God. No, I'm sorry. No, you know, um, I'm religious myself, but no. Okay. The thing is, though, people who are religious, um, is God ever wrong in their eyes? And the answer is no. So if God chose this person, this king, queen, whoever, to rule, and this person does something that's really stupid that causes a lot of pain to people, kill people, and stuff like that, can those people say, "Oh my God, that king or queen did wrong"? No, because if they say that, if they believe that, then that's saying that God's wrong. And again, to religious people, God is never wrong. You know, so that's where it comes to be, and that's where, especially in the Dark Ages, a lot of these rulers and kings truly believed that they could do no wrong because, oh, I'm related to God. God chose me, so I can do what I want, and that caused a lot of problems um, during the Dark Ages. Okay, the last one is the social contract theory. This one's interesting because basically it's this idea that if we get rid of government, get rid of cops and everything like that, we are truly born free. No one can stop you from doing anything that you want to do. You have total freedom. Now, let's say that you see me drinking my little drink here, right? And you're like, I'm thirsty. I want his drink. You have the right to take it from me. But in turn, I have the right to take it back. Now, it's from here, things can escalate pretty quickly. And I'm sure you guys know this. You've probably seen it, you know, where somebody wants something for somebody else, they take it, and somebody else uses violence against that person. Now, under the social contract theory, if there's no government, if there's no police, those people have the right to kill that person for taking their stuff. And same thing in reverse. That person has the right to kill that person to get that drink or whatever. And basically, what we do is we trade our freedoms for security. We basically tell each other, without telling each other, I won't kill you if you don't kill me. I won't take your stuff if you don't take my stuff. We're trading those freedoms of doing that for security, for safety, for our own safety. Okay. And that's what you hear sometimes all the time too when people say, like, great examples, airport security. Oh, why are people so scared of all these terrorists and things like that? So, oh, I'd have to go through all this security to get on a plane, you know, because we used to have that freedom of just getting on the plane. People would carry knives and things like that on there. No problem. They weren't checked. But now, because of what happened on September 11th, people wanted to feel safe on the planes. So they gave up that freedom just to get on a plane to be like, hey, check me. as long as you're checking everyone else. So that when I get on the plane, I feel safe knowing that there's this everyone here has been checked. There's no weapons, there's no bombs, or no nothing. Okay. That's what I mean. That's what we're talking about, trading those freedoms for security. So basically, that's it for the day one. All right. So, like I said, it's just an overview for today. Next class, next lesson, uh, we're basically going to go over certain things that you might see on a citizen test. Yeah, because you'd be surprised how many American citizens who say all the stuff. Oh, these immigrants are coming over, and oh, these things are bad, and some of that. Oh, how come these people don't know the law? Those same people who say that kind of stuff, they couldn't pass the citizen test. You know, so that's what we're going to go over in next class. So hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed this lesson. And with that being said, guys, you take care, you be safe, and I'll see you guys later.